I mean, it's my birthday on Monday and I'm going to come train. Like, that's such a hard question. Do I actually want to do this? Like, no, I've always known that's where I wanted to be. I carried that a lot into university and into adulthood, and it's only like in the past couple of years where I've actually chilled the fuck out. A gym can be that, this gym is that for me. I'm Laurelle, and I've been training kickboxing for about 3 years now, but I've always had an interest in martial arts. I trained with my dad growing up doing boxing. I didn't have a lot of confidence, so like going to a gym was really hard for me. Even when I was like 12, I just had really bad anxiety. But it helped, and it was something I really wanted to do. And then I eventually started doing Taekwondo. I stopped that, and then a couple of years went by again, and I decided this is what I want to do to get in shape, and I don't know, it sort of gives me a reason to get fit and get strong, and I started doing it again. And yeah, that was 3 years ago, and I eventually went into Jiu-Jitsu and wrestling. So yeah.
What's your favourite one you've done so far?
That's such a hard question. I mean, I've always been a striker, and I think that's where I feel most comfortable. But I do enjoy the Jiu-Jitsu.
Rolling around in the pyjamas.
I like that you have to think.
So when did you realise you wanted to compete?
I always knew.
Really?
Like, yeah, I did. I competed Taekwondo.
How was that?
Like once before I quit. I say quit, I went to university, so I couldn't train at my gym anymore. But even when I came back into it, I came in with the mentality of I would really be open to competing. And since then, it's just been something I've naturally felt an attraction towards. So it's never felt like I've pushed myself to the point where I'm questioning why I'm doing it. Do you know what I mean? Like, do I actually want to do this? Like, no, I've always known that's where I wanted to be, I guess.
Amazing. That's awesome. And you're living up to it as well, aren't you?
I guess, yeah. And it's almost just like rolling with the punches. Like,
what do you think your biggest achievement is in martial art?
well, it was probably very recently in November, having my first kickboxing fight and winning that. And then the week after, doing the jiu-jitsu tournament and winning both categories in that, for gi and no gi.
Congratulations. I saw it. It was awesome.
Yeah, you were there. Felt like a whirlwind. Like,
yeah.
I almost couldn't fathom any of it. And it's like I said before, rolling with the punches, like I just couldn't even, I didn't even have time to process. And I think that was good because it didn't give me time to overthink anything. Because it was in such close proximity. It's like, bang, this week, next week, you're doing that, bang.
Yeah. You're on a great trajectory.
So far.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where it doesn't, I don't want it to take away from like, the hard work that you have to put in.
Yeah.
I spent most of last year trying to fight.
Yeah.
And I wasn't getting matched, or things were falling through, and that was from January, and then the fight was in November. So that's a lot of the year just ready to go and wanting it really bad.
Do you think it's hard to get a fight as a woman?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is hard as a woman because one, not a lot of women are doing it.
Yes.
And also there's like biological factors that can impact your performance and how you feel about your performance as well.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of elements to it. I get the best example is doing the GB Top Team Interclub last year, and there was over 100 participants there.
Yeah.
But only one other girl was doing MMA.
That's nuts.
Yeah, and she wasn't even out in my weight category.
Was
She
she?
was 10 kilos heavier.
Oh my gosh.
But it just really put it into perspective how, I guess, mal-dominated it is.
If a woman was nervous to start training, what bit of advice would you give them?
That's quite hard because I spend a lot of my time outside of training trying to convince women to come train. And there's a lot of things, different things I say. And I do change it depending on who the person is, because I think you can get a lot from it depending on like what you need, and everyone's different, right?
Yeah.
So my main thing I go for when I try to convince people to give it a go is the confidence, and also just feeling strong and feeling capable, and just having the opportunity to see what you're made of. I guess a lot of women are especially sort of intimidated by male-dominated spaces, but I just encourage women to never feel put off by anything just because a man's doing it. Like, if they're doing it, you can. I think another reason a lot of women aren't that interested or don't even really consider doing a sport like this is because they're just not really exposed to it. Growing up, my mum done everything in her power to try and stop me from being interested in this stuff, and it was only really my dad who encouraged me, but they were separated, so my mum didn't really see that, or she didn't see like that sort of interest that I was cultivating in me.
What would you say about the community inside gyms like this? How are the people that train?
We have something very special here at Paragon, and I think that's entirely due to the people who lead the gym, everyone who puts firm boundaries in place here, everyone who makes it a really safe and comfortable environment to train in. I mean, people come once and then I see them here every day of the week for like the next 6 months. You know what I mean? Like, it has an impact on people when you create a space that is just safe and friendly, and also no ego. Like, no one here has anything to prove, and I think that's the best environment to be in when you're doing a sport like this. Like, this is a second home. This is like my third space. You hear people talk about third spaces where you have work and you have home, but like, what's your third space? Where do you go? Like, we used to have youth clubs and communal areas and community oriented spaces. Like, we don't really have that anymore, but a gym can be that. This gym is that for me.
So how often are you training at the moment then, building up to your fight?
I've been training 6 days a week.
Yeah.
Monday to Saturday, depending on my plans. Like, this week, I'll only be able to do 4 because I have responsibilities and things going on outside of it. But I always do try to make the effort to come 5 to 6 days a week. I mean, it's my birthday on Monday and I'm gonna come train. Like, there's no rest. Not for something like this, but I see it as something that's temporary. Like, this fight camp and that sort of level of commitment, coming in on days when you really, really, really don't want to, I see that as temporary.
What goes through your head before and after sparring?
Like a hard spar on like a Saturday, like fight training. I do still get a bit nervous, you know. Like, I wouldn't say scared or anything, but I think it's just mentally preparing that it's going to be hard and difficult. And I think once I get past that, like, first 30 seconds of the first round, it's kind of smooth sailing, where my mind kind of eases and then I'm in it. And then after, depending on how like beat up you are, there's a good feeling, but I've always kind of looked at what I can do better. And I don't want to say I focus on the negative, but I think there's something to be said for being critical, like critiquing yourself, right? Like, you don't want to come out of a fight being like, oh, that was perfect. Or out of a spar and be like, there was no mistakes there. Like, that's not a good attitude to have, especially if you want to grow.
Yeah.
So I normally come out of it thinking a couple of things. Well, I want to work on this. That's something I didn't employ in this spar. Like, maybe I should have done this instead. I think it's a dangerous, it's one of those things where you've got to sort of walk the line of, though, because if you're too critical and too negative, that's when like the self-hate and the doubt and all of these really unhelpful emotions start getting involved. So you've always got to manage your relationship with how critical you are of yourself, because in the past I've not managed that relationship, and
No.
I've been very harsh on myself, and a lot of people in my life have even said that to me, outside of martial arts as well, where it's like, you are too harsh on yourself, you need to like see what good there is as well.
No, I feel that as well. I feel like you get so caught up in trying to get better that you're never good. You're never good enough for yourself.
Yeah,
you know?
it's always never being good enough. It's from being a high achiever in school.
Yeah,
Most definitely.
I
Like,
was not a high achiever.
no, I was like literally, oh, I probably wasn't even that good either. But I always, in school, I was just never good enough. And I was always trying to be better.
Yeah.
And I carried that a lot into university and into adulthood. And it's only like in the past couple of years where I've actually chilled the fuck out
Yeah.
and had a bit more like grace for myself.
A bit more kind to yourself.
Yeah.
When's the date of your next fight and where is it?
The date of my next fight is on the 7th of March in Kent.
Who's it under?
LFC.